안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to Friday's edition of the Culture Wave. I'm Kwon-Soo-ah in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from K-celebrations and K-traditions to K-entertainment with a special focus on K-pop today. And all of that together with our Friday co-host, Bella Kim. Hello, Bella.
Hello, happy Friday, Soa. And
Happy
of
Friday.
course, yes, happy Friday to all of you joining us today. I'm Bella, and I'll be with you guys until the end of the show today as well. So stay with us, and also keep an eye out for my K-entertainment segment coming up very soon.
We'll do that. And we are also joined by our Arirang News features reporter, Iuni. Hello, Iuni.
Hi,
Hello,
Yuni.
everyone. I'm Arirang's news features reporter, Yuni.
So, Ini, I heard that you visited a special temple stay and very unique, but also maybe very timely ahead of the Lunar New Year's holiday. So tell us more about it.
Yes, Hoa. So with the Lunar New Year holiday, or in Korean, Seollal holiday, just around the corner, many temples across South Korea are offering a special temple stay to celebrate the holiday in a more unique way. And I've actually had the chance to visit one of these Seollal Temple Stays and to check out what's waiting for those looking to experience the peaceful, mind-clearing atmosphere of a temple stay. So let's all take a look.
A unique sanctuary nestled in the heart of Seoul City, Jogyesa Temple is offering a special temple stay for the first time during the Seollal holidays, so participants can experience the holiday's traditions.
At Jogyesa, we introduced dumpling making as part of our Temple Stay program to bring back traditional holiday customs. Nowadays, with more people living in nuclear families or traveling abroad, it's hard to experience the warmth and togetherness of the holidays. We wanted to create a space where families or individuals spending the holidays alone could come together, even for just one night.
Mong Sane shared that through activities like making dumplings, eating rice cakes, and sharing tea, she hopes to foster a warm sense of family and connection. This is the purpose behind many special programs, including a Lunar New Year ceremony and folk games. The cultural core of Korean Buddhism is hosting the Seollal Temple Stay at over 20 temples nationwide from January 22nd to January 30th.
I came here to clear my mind because I've been feeling stressed at work.
I'm having a lot of fun. It's my first time making dumplings and I'm really enjoying it.
Events like this bring out each person's unique personality. Some participants express their New Year's wishes through the dumplings they made.
This dumpling is called the sun dumpling. I made it to symbolize the rising sun of the new year, wishing for a bright year ahead.
To start the new year meaningfully, we decided to join a temple stay before the semester begins.
As they taste the dumplings they've made, along with healthy, vegetarian, and environmentally friendly temple food, participants gain a deeper appreciation for the effort that went into preparing these dishes. No Seollal celebration is complete without enjoying a bowl of tteokguk or rice cake soup. From preparation to consumption, every step in the temple is a daily practice. Practicing the performing of 108 bows, which symbolizes the purification of 108 temptations, participants have time to reflect. The evening at Jogyesa Temple is the perfect time to focus on the present moment. This Seollal holiday, why not take a break from your smartphone and immerse yourself in seasonal traditions by experiencing a temple stay with friends or family.
Well, Ini, first of all, those mandu or dumplings really look delicious. How come you didn't bring in some for us here?
It was so good that we finished it off on the spot. And actually,
I can imagine.
I wish I could have brought some of my ugly dumplings because my dumplings did not look that good because when it comes to crafting and cooking, I'm not that good. But it wasn't actually my first time making them. But I did realize I had to dig into my childhood memories. But the last time I've made dumplings was in this cultural programs during elementary school. And so I think that is why this activity is so special because just like me, and I'm not sure how often you guys get to make dumplings, but not a lot of people,
often.
right? So we don't gather a lot to make dumplings, so it made the moment so special.
Definitely. I definitely wanted to try Temple Stay. I haven't tried it yet. One day, coming soon. And Jogyesa Temple that you just went to seems like a perfect place to go for Temple Stay. Is there any other temples that, people could visit during the holiday season?
Of course. Well, first of all, the temple I visited, Jogyesa, is in the heart of Seoul. And so the monk there described it as temple in a forest of buildings. So it actually gave this beautiful sensation of contrast. And throughout this Seollal holiday, which lasts until the 30th of this month, 28 temples across the country are hosting Seollal Temple Stay programs. And I'd like to introduce just a few of them. First is at Yangpyeongsa Temple in Sejong City. Visitors can enjoy activities like rice cake pounding, 제기차기, which is a traditional game of kicking a shuttlecock, and Yunnori, also a traditional board game. And Dogapsa Temple in Jeollanam-do Province invites participants to make New Year's lanterns. And another one is Naksansa Temple in Gangwon-do, which provides the opportunity to craft LED lotus lanterns.
So that is probably Yongpyeongsa Temple and Dogapsa Temple. So Uni, there are many options available, so I guess anyone who's interested should check out the website that we just saw. But what about the costs for this?
So Temple Stay is usually 1 night, 2 stays. So the cost is approximately 80,000 Korean won, which is approximately $55 US at the current exchange rate.
All right, thank you for that recommendation and your story today. And happy Lunar New Year to you. 새해 복 많이 받으세요.
새해 복 많이 받으세요.
Thank you to you guys and to everyone. 새해 복 많이 받으세요.
Thank you. And now time for some K-entertainment news with Bella Kim. Bella, today we start off with a heartwarming story.
That is correct. We're going to be talking about actor Byun-seok. Byun-seok has donated the proceeds from his birthday merchandise sales to Korea Pediatric Cancer Foundation. The sale of the goods started last October, and his agency, Baru Entertainment, announced that all of the proceeds will be donated to children suffering from childhood cancer, leukemia, and rare incurable disease. The exact amount is not revealed. Byun-seok actually donated 300 million won, that's roughly $210,000 for pediatric patients to Severance Hospital in Seoul just last year. So he made another donation this year as well. And meanwhile, he confirmed his next project for an MBC drama tentatively titled 21st Century King's Wife.
And we have another donation story, this time by a K-pop group.
That is correct. It is by K-pop group BTS. BTS member Jin donated 100 million won, that's about $70,000 to Korea University Medical Center to support terminally ill patients in developing countries. The donation will be used for Korea University Medical Center's International Medical medical support program aimed at providing treatment to those suffering from financial hardships and lack of treatment. Jin stated, "I hope this brings a small hope to those who are suffering and unable to receive treatment in medical blind spots." He added that he wants to help more lives with his global fans in the future. Jin was discharged from mandatory military service last June and recently released his solo album, Happy.
And he's making us happy with this donation.
I know.
And speaking of Jin, we'll end up with another story about some other BTS members.
That is correct. We're going to be talking about now BTS Jimin. Jimin has achieved a historic milestone on the US Billboard chart. According to the latest Billboard chart released on Wednesday, Jimin's album, second solo album, Muse, is still on the Billboard 200 chart at number 118. And this is actually his 26th consecutive week on the chart, which makes him the longest charting K-pop solo artist on this chart. And despite the fact that this album was released back in July of last year, it is still number 3 on World Albums charts, and its title track, Who, is ranked number 41 on the Hot 100 charts.
Great achievement there. And we also have some exciting news again regarding Jimin along with Jungkook.
Yes, we're still on BTS. Jimin and Jungkook were nominated for various categories for the 2025 iHeartRadio Music Awards in the United States. On Wednesday, iHeartRadio Music Awards announced the list of nominees for this year's awards. Jimin was nominated for K-pop Artist of the Year, and his song Who was nominated for Best Lyrics and K-pop Song of the Year. Notably, Jimin is actually the first Korean artist to be nominated for the Best Lyrics category, so that's another milestone for Jimin. Also, a travelogue taken by Jimin and Jungkook, Are You Sure, was considered as a competition for Favorite on Screen. The iHeartRadio Music Award is a music award ceremony hosted since 2014 by iHeartRadio, an American online radio station. And it awards to the most played artists and songs on iHeartRadio stations and applications every year. This year's award ceremony will be held in Los Angeles on March 17th and will be broadcast live on the Fox channel in the United States.
And you're probably going to update us on the results later on as well.
Yes.
So thank you very much for those K-Enter updates,
Yes,
Bella.
I'll stick around.
And time now for other culture-related news with our AI anchor. Ari, take it away.
Hello and welcome to your AI guide to the latest cultural updates from Korea. Here's our top story. Hangul Seollal, or Korean calligraphy, has been designated as a national intangible heritage. Hangul Seollal encompasses not only the act of writing Hangul using traditional brushes and ink, but also the rich traditional knowledge embedded within it. The art of Seollal has served as a vital medium for recording the lives of Koreans throughout history. The National Heritage Service highlighted its value for its distinctive brush techniques and refined aesthetic. It added that Seollal extends into various other artistic fields, contributing to cultural diversity and creativity. Around 206,000 visitors are expected to visit Korea's southern resort island of Jeju during the 6-day Lunar New Year holiday. Visitors will enter Jeju via roughly 1,200 domestic flights and 124 international flights, as well as on 6 cruise ships. The number of Jeju-bound travelers marks a nearly 10% drop compared to last year's figure. The Jeju Tourism Association attributed the decline to the extended holiday, which led many travelers to opt for overseas trips instead of domestic destinations. Korea celebrated Hwacheon Sancheonho Ice Festival, which kicked off on January 11th, is set to surpass 1 million visitors this week. As of Wednesday, about 943,500 people have enjoyed the winter festivities, including more than 51,000 international tourists. Travelers from around the world spanning the Arab region to Southeast Asia have embraced Korea's unique winter traditions, such as ice fishing, highlighting the festival's global appeal. The festival will run through February 2nd. That's all from me. Wishing our viewers in Korea a wonderful and safe holiday. And to those watching from around the world, have a fantastic weekend.
It's been another week with new releases in the K-pop world, with a variety of songs catching the eyes and ears of fans. Today, we want to analyze some of the marketing strategies behind K-pop idols' song releases. And we'll do that with the expert in this field, Jeff Benjamin, a contributor to Billboard, Forbes, Rolling Stone, and more. Hello, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Hello, good to see you guys.
Good to see you. Now, let's first start with who released what in the past week.
Yeah, well, it's been an exciting week for sure. We've had the debut of JYP Entertainment's new boy band, Kickflip. Also, a former JYP boy band, GOT7, released on the same day. So it's a very exciting day on January 20th. Zero Base One, who are, of course, topping the charts for the past couple of years, released their pre-release single called Doctor Doctor. And there's been a lot of great music from artists like BB Girls, One Us. It's been an exciting time as of lately.
So, Jeff, let's talk a little bit about this new boy band by JYP. What is your first impression of Kickflip? What do you think are their strengths?
Well, when I saw Kickflip, I had heard about them beforehand, and I was told to have very high expectations. And I have to say, I think they're bringing a lot of elements of past JYP boy bands that we've all loved and bringing it to kind of a next generation. To me, they kind of have that bright, fun side that we saw from GOT7 in a song like Just Right, but they also have a bit of that edge, a bit of that, rebelliousness that we know from Stray Kids. Kickflip said that they look up to Stray Kids as role models, so it's kind of bringing all these elements into one. And personally, I really hope that we get to see their skateboarding skills. They've kind of teased this a little bit, but I have high hopes for them. And I have high hopes for their first song that we're watching right now. I think it could be kind of the sleeper breakout hit for rookie groups this year.
There's probably a reason for why they are called Kickflip. So I'm also looking forward to those skateboarding skills.
Yes, and of course their songs and their activities as well. Now we're going to move on to talking about girl group. Girl group IVE have wrapped up their 11-month world tour. And they've been topping charts globally with their new song, latest song, Rebel Heart. And they will actually return with a new mini album on February 3rd. What's your take on the song, and what's your expectation for the new album as well?
Yeah, Rebel Heart is such a catchy song, right? I was reading that it was co-written by several very famous European songwriters. So it's a new kind of style for IVE, and it's very anthemic, but I also think it's a very good fit for them. These girls have gone through so much. They've gone through so much in the spotlight. There's lyrics like, love me, hate me, you will never be me. I just think, it's such a great attitude, and something that I love in particular about this release was the music video, because I felt like we almost saw them being a bit rebellious in the way that they are not the traditional beauties. They're showing different sides of themselves. I'm really, really loving this attitude, and I feel like this album is maybe gonna let us into their psyche and what they're thinking about, and maybe how they're feeling on the inside. So I'm super excited for the album in particular.
All right, so we just mentioned IVE, which also had a pre-released single first, and then they're going to release their album next month. So let's get deeper into that pre-release strategy or concept, which is known as 선공개 here in Korea. It's become the norm for K-pop stars to first have a single released and then followed by an album release. So how effective is this marketing strategy? And also, is there something different to it compared to releases elsewhere in the world?
Yeah, it's interesting that you're bringing this up, because I think for a little bit of a time, this idea of a pre-release single was almost kind of like the unofficial start to an era with K-pop. Many times pre-releases were not promoted. It might have just been a digital release, or we might have not seen promotions. Now it's like kickstarting the era, very similar to what we see with, what I'm, used to with Western artists, or what had happened in the past, where kind of that first single will dictate, where the album goes, where the artist is going with their era. I think the biggest difference to me is that, pre-release is almost saying, it's the first song, but we're gonna, the album is still planned. Sometimes if an artist's first single in the US doesn't go well, they might change their whole strategy or they might go away again. And, K-pop artists are very confident with their sounds. So I think it's ultimately a cool strategy that we get these, multiple singles and multiple tracks to be promoted. It's not just about putting out one song and then we never get to see anything from the other tracks.
That's interesting. Now, Jeff, what's also interesting is that we are seeing longer teaser and promotion periods, but the active periods, the so-called active periods, are getting shorter. Why is that?
Yeah, well, I'm not planning the marketing for these groups, but I've definitely noticed that too. I remember personally when I started getting into K-pop, some groups would promote for 2 months. Now we're lucky if you get 2 weeks.
Right.
And on one hand, I think this kind of speaks to, of course, the healthiness of the K-pop industry, the fact that so many artists, want to be active, want to be promoting, want to be on these shows. But also, it's also very saturated and it's very difficult to kind of stand out. So I think, they kind of go hand in hand that while you might not be as active in Korea, more and more, of course, of these artists are going beyond Korea, whether that's through international tours or doing more international phone calls, fan calls. Things like these are kind of extending the promotional periods in longer ways, even if we're not seeing them, on television every day.
I see. So probably, although the active periods are shorter, they are busy all the time with all these promotions.
That's why it always feels like, they're working 24/7, 365 days a year, right? Because they're always so active in different categories. And we did talk about, the pre-release strategy. I want to, mention if there's any other mentionable marketing, strategies or marketing trends in K-pop industry.
Yeah, well, these days it's been really interesting to me to watch, seeing more and more K-pop artists, especially when they're coming to the US, go to more cities and especially smaller cities. Back in the day, I'm very lucky because I'm based in New York City. So usually I got to see, an artist because they would maybe go to New York City, LA, and sometimes that was it. But more and more artists are going to secondary markets, third markets that are smaller, but still definitely have a big audience and fans that want to see them. Just recently, the very young rookie group from FNC Entertainment, Ampersand's One, they announced 19 cities that they're visiting during their tour, including multiple cities in the same state sometimes. And I think that's a really good strategy because this group, like we said, they might not have a lot of chances maybe on K-pop television or traditional Korean TV, but they're trying to make the most of their time in the US by visiting as many cities as they can. So to me, I think that's a really great strategy. And I think we also see it in the media approach that many times, from my experiences, K-pop acts, of course, you want to have the biggest outlets, you want to have the biggest promotional opportunities, but the reality is just like every artist, not everyone can be on every magazine cover or every television show. So, starting smaller or going with more creative ways of marketing, on your social media or trying to talk to new outlets, new reporters, whatever it might be. These strategies, everything is getting more fresh, more creative, and I think it's a great thing because even if there are more and more artists, being active and trying to reach those global heights, everyone has their own path, right? And everyone can do it their own way, and no one needs to do what everyone else did. To be honest, I felt like BTS was always really good early in their career about trying new strategies and trying new things. So I always just encourage everyone to follow their own path.
Yes.
No matter what.
But amid these strategies, Jeff, do you think there are any factors that might need more room for improvement regarding these strategies?
Oh, well, it probably is a bit of like being more open-minded, kind of what I was saying before. Sometimes there's a lot of rigidness between, maybe the ways that things are done in one country versus another country. And a big part of my career has always been, how do we find a way to work together? Sometimes I've just had just a lot of pushback. Or I've had, editors who aren't as familiar with K-pop or, TV shows, whoever it might be. They get very turned off by working with, certain companies or teams just because of, there's a lot of misunderstandings and there's not a lot of willingness to work together and be flexible. So my biggest thing is that hopefully everyone will be flexible, will work together and understand that, just not always expecting everyone to fall the same way everyone else does.
So being open-minded, creative, and flexible, I guess. So thank you very much, Jeff, for your insights today. Can't wait for our next talk.
Oh, yes. Thank you, guys. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Although not holidays for you there. And Bella, thank you for your contributions throughout the week. But yes, happy Lunar New Year holiday to you. We will see you back next Friday, right?
Yes, I will see you back next Friday. And 새해 복 많이 받으세요.
새해 복 많이 받으세요. And thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on the Culture Wave. Have a great weekend. We'll be back after the Lunar New Year holidays, so next Friday on the 31st of January at 2 p.m. Korea time. See you back then.